Hi, my name is Xyuan Xiao, and this video is to show this project I've been working on my own for the last 4 months. It is still work in progress, but the base of the game is pretty well established by now, and everything you see in this video is from the demo that you can download from the link in the description and play it on a Windows PC. This game doesn't have a defined story or even a name yet, but the theme is you are some kind of nature god that was summoned by this shrine right here to save this planet from the destruction that people and their technologies are causing. And the demo starts in this tutorial zone that I created just for the sake of it, where you can play around and learn the mechanics of the game. I'm gonna start with what is, in my opinion, the most unique theme of my game, and that is the death of the player, or actually the lack of it. So, if you die in battle, you won't just go back to the last checkpoint like most games. You will actually transform, and for you to understand why this fits into the game and makes it interesting, I have to first show some basics of the game. I wanted the player actions to be pretty simple, so you just jump and dash and move around, and that's it for the movement. Also, you can grab guns and shoot them. You don't have to reload or care about ammo, you just care about the cooldown and the singularities of each one. You can carry up to two of any of them, any side you want, but each carry gun makes you heavier and slower. Also, you can sneak behind some enemies to get a chance for an insta kill, if well executed, of course. The most important, your powers. There are 4 possible energies that you can absorb from sources throughout the world, and each of them offers 2 unique specials you can execute, one from each hand. So the water gives the ability to do this melee that is weak but disables enemy shields, or to heal yourself. The rock, that you can make yourself invulnerable for a few seconds or throw these powerful stones. The flora, that you can spawn these bushes to hide inside or just block enemy sight or path, or launch these roots to immobilize them for a few seconds. And finally the fire, that if you explode those barrels, and be careful with that explosion because it damages enemies but also the player, and you get these powerful tornadoes and melee attacks. If you pause the demo, you can see the control layout and notice that the controls are really simple. 2 specials, one for each side, 2 guns, one for each side if attached, jump, dash, interact, and that's it basically. But this doesn't mean the game is simple. It is actually pretty complex and strategic if you think of all the combinations you can have of everything I just told you, and the pros and cons of each. Like, you could be fire with 2 guns and be like a slow and powerful tank, or be Flora with no guns and be like a ninja quickly sneaking on enemies, and all the whole range of combinations between these, and you have multiple tactics and gameplay styles. And often the player will have to change tactics and combinations depending on what energy sources, guns, and enemies are around, and even the layout of the area. Keeping all of this in mind, if we go back to the main twist of the game, if you die, you liberate this powerful energy blast and enter this spirit mode. And when you are a spirit, enemies can't see or attack you, and you can't attack them either. What you can do is freely fly and navigate the area, where you can think of your strategy by learning enemy positions and patterns, understand the level layout, where are the guns, and specifically the energy sources, because you're gonna need them to revive, and when you do so, you fully absorb the source. That's the punishment you get for dying. You have to sacrifice one of the energy sources in the area. What happens if you have none left to revive you? Well, then you restart way back in a shrine and you have to play again. So the game is like this: you play doing the best you can and make your strategies, and if you fail, you get a chance to peacefully rethink your strategy, with a little punishment each failing. But if you fail too much, then you have to restart from a checkpoint way back. This unique death system creates really interesting risk and reward choices to the player, like do I explode that barrel right now to ensure an energy source in case of death, or should I save it to damage some enemy nearby? Or like you could use your death blast like a weapon if you are sure you can revive later. Or even you could just die on purpose to be able to freely roam around and better think your next step. Of course, there are more details I could talk about, like how you can use noise to attract enemies to where you want, or how many different enemies there are, how some areas can have multiple energy sources while others can have none, or how each energy power can help solve the puzzles parts of the game. But I guess the video is too long already, so I'll finish right here. Just remember, you can play the demo and try it for yourself. Thanks for watching.